Hey guys, this is Rupesh from Beebom.com, and off late, every time we post a photo or video, basically anywhere, all we get are comments like hashtag boycott China, stop reviewing Chinese phones, boycott Chinese products, tell us alternatives to Chinese phones. And you know what? Honestly, I get it. Everyone's angry. There's a lot of emotions and everyone has a lot of questions. So you know what? We went ahead, did a lot of research, read a lot, and I think in this video I'm going to answer all of your questions. Yeah, watch this video till the very end, because after this video I think you guys will have a lot more clarity on where we stand in this whole hashtag boycott China saga. First of all, let's start with something really simple. Let's take a look at all the smartphone makers that are active in the Indian smartphone market right now. Okay, so there's Apple, Xiaomi, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, Realme, OnePlus, Asus, LG, Huawei, Motorola, aka Lenovo, HMD Global, aka Nokia, and HTC. Now, out of these companies, the Chinese makers are obviously super popular. They sell the most phones. But which of these are non-Chinese smartphone makers? There's Samsung, Asus, LG, Nokia, Apple, and HTC. Now, let's say you wanted to buy a budget smartphone in India that's from a non-Chinese brand. Well, the only option you have is Samsung. See, Asus was making some great budget smartphones till last year, and it has a great opportunity now, but I have no idea what's up with it. Same with HMD Global. There has been no new Nokia phone since quite some time in India. There's also LG, which launches phones once in a while, but again, not something to consider really. HTC, well, HTC is kind of dead in India. So, like I said, the only option is Samsung. Now, forget budget smartphones. Say you wanted to buy a brand new Snapdragon 865 flagship right here in India. Which non-Chinese option do you have? Anything comes to mind? No, because there's none. That's right. I mean, Samsung only launches Exynos flagships in India, so yup. If you want to buy a flagship Snapdragon smartphone in India, you don't really have a non-Chinese choice. And again, this is a huge opportunity for makers like Asus, Nokia, and any other non-Chinese brand, because right now, if say I want to buy a new Snapdragon 865 flagship that's non-Chinese, I basically don't have an option. See, Chinese smartphones are popular in India because of two things: great specs and aggressive pricing. I know there are some concerns around privacy and these phones have ads, but there's no doubt that phones from makers like Realme and Xiaomi or even OnePlus are immense value for money. So ultimately, the question is, how can we reduce our dependency on Chinese smartphones? Well, let me explain this by dividing the Indian smartphone segment into 4 categories. Number 1, made in China. 2, assembled in India. 3, non-Chinese phones made in China. And 4, made in India smartphones. Okay, so let me explain. First, made in China phones. Now, these are phones that are completely made in China, from using components that are mostly made in China to being assembled totally in China. For example, the Nubia Red Magic phones. Now, these phones don't really benefit us. Yes, some shopkeepers sell them and make a little profit, but apart from that, they don't really provide any employment to Indians. Coming to the second segment, assembled in India, which is comparatively less dependent on China. Now, there are phones from Chinese smartphone makers like Oppo, Vivo, Realme, Xiaomi that have this made in India tag, as you can see. Now, they aren't exactly made in India, but they are assembled in factories and plants in India, and they also use a lot of locally sourced components. Not the major ones, but they do use them. See, this is great for employment in India because these companies have a lot of factories and plants here in India. They also have their offices, R&D centers, and they also employ a lot of Indians, so it's a win-win. Third are non-Chinese phones made in China. Now here, take the iPhones for example. I know some of the older iPhones are assembled in India at the Wistron plant, but most of the newer iPhones, they are still assembled in China. I mean, the brand new iPhone SE has the assembled in China tag, as you can see. So yeah. See, Foxconn has 12 factories in China, and most of Apple's iPhones are produced in the largest Foxconn factory, which is located in Langhua Town, Shenzhen, where more than 4 lakh people are employed. Now, this brings me to the fact that Foxconn in 2015 had announced that it would be setting up 12 factories in India as well, and that would create 1 million jobs for Indians. But it's 2020 and we still only have 2 Foxconn plants where Xiaomi, Nokia and some iPhones are assembled. Now, Foxconn's plans to open a plant in Maharashtra might have been cancelled, but according to latest reports, they are still planning to invest in India. So yeah, more and more of these assembly plants will definitely boost India. I mean, Apple could do something like Samsung. Samsung assembles almost all of its phones in either its Chennai plant or its plant in Noida, UP, where it has the largest mobile factory. And it's not just assembly. Samsung makes the PCBs right here in India, along with more components. And it also plans to set up India's first display plant. Now that is great. See, we've been hearing about Apple planning to mass produce its iPhones in India since 2015, and it's 2020 now. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of time. Now, honestly, if we want more and more companies like, say, LG, Asus, or even appliance makers like Whirlpool to make their components products here in India, it's going to take a few years. But it'll create jobs in India and it'll further reduce our dependency on China. Anyway, coming to the fourth point, the real made in India phones, like Micromax. Okay, I'm just kidding. Micromax phones are basically Chinese phones. See, as of now, we don't really have phones that are truly made in India. Phones that are not only assembled here in India, but also made of components made in India. So you know what? This is exactly what we need to focus on. What we really need to do is get the companies that make the raw materials, like the components, like the lithium-ion batteries, the camera sensors, the usual other sensors, etc., required for a smartphone to make these in India. Only then we can have a true made-in-India smartphone. I know, to be honest, this might take years or even a whole decade, but this is something we need to focus on. So this is something we can achieve. I know, a lot of it seems a bit far-fetched, but slowly and steadily, we can win this race. Not overnight. I know, phones are something that we all use a lot, and that's the reason it's kind of become the highlight of this whole boycott trend. But if you think about it, look at things more broadly, you will understand that China is the biggest factory in the world. Let me explain things a little better. See, we as a country rely on China for a whole lot of different things. Air conditioners, pharmaceuticals, toys, automobile components, bicycles, solar power equipment, and a lot of other things. It's clear that China has a big pie of the market in India. Plus, it's not just that. I mean, most of the Indian startups, popular companies we know of, are funded by Chinese investors, as you can see here. Ultimately, if we Indians truly want to become self-reliant, we need a long-term plan with better government policies to bring more and more companies in India, more investment in startups, more focus on research and innovation, and Indian companies wanting to create alternatives. Yes, like I said, it's going to take a lot of time, but like I said, slowly and steadily, we can win this race. So the aim of this video was to see all sides of the story and, just be more practical with this whole situation. To be honest, this whole boycott campaign is more of a social campaign, more on the social media front, but it's important we look at things more practically. So you know what, share this video with your friends on social media platforms and your family groups in WhatsApp so that everyone sees the practical side of things. Also, I want to know what you guys think on this matter. So rather than just commenting boycott Chinese phones, let's have a quality discussion in the comments. Yes, I will be replying in the comments, so let's talk. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.